Okay, this is the Downtown Shuffle in G and cross harp. We're going to use a C harp and we're going to play in 3 different positions as we go through 12-bar chord changes. And the Downtown Shuffle is basically a Chicago shuffle or double shuffle, but the form of it, of the bass line, is it starts at the root, goes up an octave, and then descends through the flat 7th and the 5th of each chord. So here we go. Double shuffle, Downtown Shuffle in G. So we're really only concerned with 4 notes in each position. And in first position, rather in second position, cross harp, we're going to start with the 2 draw to play the 1 chord. I'm usually articulating this with an a-da kind of sound, or a-da. It's a-da and a-t-da, 2 different things. The a-da actually gives you a chance to have a little space between the 2 syllables, so that it leaves that rest where the triplet is actually being left out. So instead of going yada-da, yada-da, you're going yada. Starting with the 2 draw, and then jumping up to the 6th blow. Now, if you really want to make a point of saying yada or ada all the way through, you can, but I don't. I'm really not that picky about it. I actually go into a tongue block here just because it's easier to get from one point to another by just opening your embouchure and moving up to the 6th blow with a tongue block. But you can do either way. I find it's easier to navigate, but you can also pucker. A little harder to find your way to that 6 without staying on the harp. So you can also articulate this triplet with your breath. You can go cough, cough, or ha, ha, like that. So the 1 chord is just 2 draw, 6 blow, 5 draw, 4 draw, and double up on each of them. 2, 3, 4. Always trying to preserve that swing time, the triplet time. That's why it helps to have a track. And a slow track would be helpful too, if I ever get one together. The 4 chord, after playing that 4 times, we'll go to the 4 chord, start on the 1 blow, jump up to the 4 blow. Again, this is a good chance to go from a pucker to a tongue block if you're doing that. Easy jump. To the 3 draw, half step bend, to the 2 draw, or you can use a 3 blow here. I prefer the 2 draw. Now the secret with the 3 draw bend is it's almost impossible to play accurately, perfectly on pitch. It is a blue note, so make use of it that way, even though it's a bass line note. You have to be very subtle and finesse it a lot and get out of there before anybody finds out whether you're playing it right or not. There's a little bit of a swoop, which I just invented, coming up from a little bit of a lower bend. So if you actually bend it a little flat and bring it up, that gives it a little sweeter sound, as opposed to. And it just makes it easier to execute, easier to grab onto a solid lower bend and bring it up to that elusive half-step bend. So we play that twice, and then we're back into the 1 chord, the 2 draw. Sometimes I do a little variation on this. Instead of just going straight to the bass line note, I'll toggle between them. And I do that by way of turning around, of giving a nice little segue into the next chord. Now going into the 5 chord, we're going to start on the 1 draw, which is like 3rd position, to the 4 draw, to the 4 blow, so that part's all easy, till we get to the 3 draw whole step bend. And this time you have to be a little more spot on. It's going to sound really weird because it's not a blue note if you play it a little flat or sharp. So and what I do is I go back from the tongue blocked 4 draw and blow to a puckered 3 draw, and that actually helps me focus on it a little bit. You can play a tongue block too, and that's another level of tongue blocking and bending finesse. So that's good practice too, but you don't have to. And you only have to do that once, then you're down to the 4 chord. And back to the 1 for 2. Or if you're playing a turnaround there, you'd play the pattern once and then play turnaround. Any 1 bar turnaround will do. So the whole thing slowly now is 2, 3, 4, and out. And what I suggest you do with this, if you want to practice getting that 5 chord right, is loop the last 4 bars of this video. So just from the through the turnaround. And that way you'll have something where you can just practice that 5 chord, the transition from the 5, the 4 into the 1. Practicing the last 4 bars of any 12 bar pattern, which I call the 5-4 walk down, is a great way of getting that 5 chord practice in, because it doesn't come around often enough. It just comes around once in that 12 bar progression. By the time you get to it, it's hard to remember. Then the next time you think you're going to remember, by the time you get to it again, you've forgotten. It's really irritating. So I like to just practice the 5-4 walk down. I'll do another version of the 5-4 walk down a little faster. And this time I won't play a turnaround, just so you can get practice playing the bass line. So I'll play the 5 chord, the 4 chord, and then the 1 chord twice. And then you can loop that. 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that'll be loopable. Alright, if you have any questions about this, let me know. It's just the old Downtown Shuffle in Cross Harp.